What if our solar map is incomplete? What if we've been missing a presence, silent, powerful, concealed, on the fringe of discovery? A world that lies beyond what we can see, a silent domain of unknown gravities, hidden masses and cosmic whispers. Could this be what some call Planet X? Time to scan the night skies here on Things Visible and Invisible. Former CNN science features producer Marshall Masters is a publisher of YOWUSA.com and MarshallMasters.com, an author and researcher focused on Earth changes, space threats and survival preparedness. Since the 1990s, he has explored topics such as Nibiru, Nemesis and Planet X, sustainable survival communities, communication strategies in crisis, and future technologies. And he joins me down the line from his home in Maine. Marshall, welcome to Things Visible and Invisible.
It's excellent to be here.
Marshall, let's start at the beginning. There's an awful lot in your bio to begin with. There's an awful lot of science. There's a lot of astronomy. There's a lot of alternate ways of thinking. I want to start with Planet X, though. That was the thing that sort of jumped out at me. Let's start with a definition. What is Planet X?
Good question. And this is the one that gets a lot of people into the topic. Planet X does not mean Planet 10. Planet X is a term that was coined by an American astronomer, Percival Lowell, in about 1905. The search for Planet X actually began in Europe after the discovery of Uranus. This was the first planet to be discovered with a telescope. And then they were watching the perturbations, little zigzags in the orbit, if you want. And that gave them a mathematical coordinate, thanks to a British mathematician. And then a German astronomer picked it up. There was Neptune. And then they found Neptune had a little zigzag, and then it was the search for Neptune's perturber, which started in Europe. And then it came over to the United States with an independently wealthy gentleman who built an observatory in Flagstaff, Arizona. So the term Planet X simply means we know it's there because it's interacting with objects we can observe, even though we cannot observe it. And nowadays, if you use the term Planet X, unfortunately, the search engines, there's a lot of suppression on the topic. And if you type Planet X, it'll take you off into zigzags into Planet 9 and other things. So I just use the term Nemesis now, which is our sun's binary twin. It's a much smaller brown dwarf. And when you use the term Planet X, it's just, think of it as a generic term. You know, you can have a company with a number of different brands, like General Motors, and they have Pontiac, and they have Chevrolet and GMC. It all comes back to the same thing. The important thing to know about it is that we live in a binary star system. And I have been intrigued by this. I was first introduced to it. You know, people think it's like an internet, kind of craziness. It's not. In the late 60s, when I was in high school, I first learned about Nemesis, or what we also call Planet X, from my high school science teacher. It was in 1969 when we had landed put a man on the moon. The Boeing 747 first took to the skies. And yet all he could talk about was Nemesis theory, that our sun has a smaller twin. And this is an object that spends most of its time in the southern skies. Now, here's a term I'll throw at your audience: ecliptic. It's important. The ecliptic is the plane of our system. So imagine you start in the center of the sun and imaginary make a disk all the way out to the 12 constellations of the zodiac. That's the ecliptic. Above it is called the northern skies. Below it is the southern skies. Now, Nemesis is in a very peculiar comet like orbit, and it's steeply inclined, about 30 degrees different to the ecliptic. So it comes up on a very steep angle. And unlike Earth, it's got a clockwise rotation, and it you know, the science of it is really mind-boggling because it has its own science. It just seems to do its own thing.
I want to get into that, Marshall, but I want to just sort of, for example, you talk about a twin, and that. What is scientific orthodoxy on this? So I think it's important that we say what that is before we move in other directions. So what is it? I mean, is Nemesis Planet X? Is this something which scientists know about, accept?
Well, they know about it, but they can't talk about it. There's a tremendous amount of political deception on it.
Okay.
And the reason why is that this Nemesis, this brown dwarf star, about 7 times the size of Jupiter, was first observed by NASA's IRAS space telescope back in 1983. And was doing a sky survey. Now, if you can remember Google Sky used that same sky survey. And when they detected it, they created a cover story of a malfunction on board the spacecraft so they didn't have to share the data. And they tracked it for as long as they could to see where it's going to go and when it's going to be there. Unfortunately, at that time, there was a decision made by the powers that be that this information was to be suppressed. Now, there are articles on Planet X by the New York Times, the Wall Street Journal. The mainstream media was covering it back in those early days, but they got shut down, and it stayed that way. And they don't want people to know about it. And so, who is they? They are the same people who poison our skies, poison our water, poison our food, poison our culture, poison everything so that it weakens us. And also because the first to die are the last to know. So, for me, the sad point of it is that we've lost over a half a century of time to prepare for this.
Well,
And
well,
that's a human tragedy.
before we get into that, I mean, that's fast. But help me out here a little bit, Marshall, because what we're talking about is the planetary system and the solar system, whatever. Why would scientific orthodoxy or scientific establishment, whatever you want to call it, why would they not be interested in the discovery of a new planet or a new celestial being of some sort in the heavens?
They are. We post images of observations of Nemesis now, which is, we have reports coming in from all around the world. And, I have a collection of the stuff that we've gotten just since I think about May of this year. And there's 130 images in there. And you'll see there's an observatory in the foreground, and in the background, you're going to see Nemesis, the binary star that is a twin to Sol. And you can see the two stars together. But again, this started with science, started with brilliant science. The astronomers in Europe were amazing. And it just slid over here to here. It actually led to the discovery of Pluto. They were looking for Neptune's perturber, and when they discovered Pluto, they thought they had found it. And we found out Pluto is really not big enough to be a perturber. It's about 60% the size of our own moon. So the astronomers do it, and there have been astronomers that have worked on it, and unfortunately, they have lost their lives. And when it's hard to say trust the science, it's like with a vaccine, and they say trust the science, and then, well, hold on a second, things aren't working the way they were advertised. Um, this has been pushed off to the fringe edge, but it's undeniable. It's there.
But again, Marshall, I'm not sure what is the threat posed by the discovery of this entity. I mean, they discovered Pluto, and it became a subject of scientific inquiry, and that was about it. It added to the, why would the discovery of this or the recognition of this be so earth-shattering? What lies behind it?
That gets to the crux of it. All right. First off, it's not going to hit us. Anybody that says it is just smoking you. All right. It is right now in its downward part. It has basically two legs in its orbit. And there's the perihelion leg where it gets closest to the sun, and then aphelion leg where it goes to its furthest point away from the sun, which is way, way down in the southern skies. And as it's passing down, and remember, we talked about the ecliptic, the plane of the system, it's going to cross over Earth's orbit. And by next year, it will be omnipresent. Right now, it's really difficult to see because it is so close to the sun. And so you can only spot it just before sunset and just after sunrise, because you need what you need is that atmospheric lensing so that the glare of the sun doesn't overshadow it. But that'll change once it's above Earth's orbit. So it will be high above us. It's not going to come at us, but then it's going to be plunging down, and it's going to cross the ecliptic again, somewhere between Mars and Jupiter. And when it does that, Nemesis is actually a mini constellation. It has three major planets. The innermost planet is a gas giant called Helion. Then there is second one out is Arbota. It's a rocky planet larger than Earth. And then there is the outermost planet, the third one, which is Nibiru. And this is the home of the Anunnaki that has been written about extensively by Zecharia Sitchin. And
just on that, Marshall, could you just explain that a little bit? I mean, it may be extensively written and you're aware of it, but for our audience, just flesh that out for us a little bit.
Okay. Well, we have Zecharia Sitchin has written a series of books. The man's passed on. I had a chance to work with him on a few small projects, and I got to know him. He was a very important scholar. He was able to translate the Sumerian texts and the scrolls. And Sumer was the first civilization of modern man. And they documented this object, and the Anunnaki, and these are the people who live on Nibiru and came to Earth to mine gold. And they need the gold to repair their atmosphere, because these flybys they're hard on us, and it's also very hard on Nibiru. And to repair their skies, they use gold powder. They pulverize it and put it up into their upper atmosphere, and that's what keeps their planet going. So the anticipation is that they're going to be returning to replenish their gold stocks. And I find it interesting. I hear, the Three Eye Atlas, and a lot of people are saying it's an Anunnaki mothership. All I know is it's definitely not a comet. That's for sure. But as to the rest of it, well, we'll just have to see what we see.
So what you're talking about here, I think, Marshall, in terms of something which begins as astronomy, but then very quickly mutates into something which is both to do with our own archaeology and what some people allege our own ancient history and our interaction with extraterrestrials.
Yes, we have a lot of history. That's what Zachariah Sitchin's fascination was. He wanted to know, who are we and how did we come to be? And the Anunnaki, as the story goes, and if there's one book you want to read by Zachariah Sitchin, all of his books are just outstanding. They're brilliant. But the one that I think is the first one to start off is the Lost Book of Enki. Lost Book of Enki. Enki is the Anunnaki ruler here on Earth who used genetic modification to combine Nibiru genes with our early hominid ancestors. He created humanity as we are, as we know ourselves, specifically to replace the Anunnaki gold miners who were on the stage of revolt, and so that they could get more gold out of our planet. They don't have any gold on Nibiru per se, but Earth has a fairly good amount of it. So that's how we actually started, according to Sitchin, is that we're extraterrestrials designed to mine gold. And stop to think about it. When you see like a box full of shiny gold bars, what do? Whoa, wow. We really, that gets us. Now, we could look at something that's worth twice as much per ounce as gold, and we go, what do you know? All right. So we have this passion, this love for gold. And I know I had gold fever when I was in college. I was prospecting up in the hills of Prescott, Arizona. And I can tell you, gold fever is real. Oh, it just makes you do the craziest things.
Well,
So
well,
there's a lot. But if you read that Lost Book of Enki, Enki did it as an autobiography, and he tells you exactly how he got us made.
Okay. Well, Marshall, we've come a long way from Planet X to Nemesis to Anaki to Planet Earth. Unfortunately, we have to land this ship here for this moment. Tell people, Marshall, where they can find out more about you, your research, and your various writings.
Go to my website, yowusa.com. And for those of you who are just getting started, and I know it's a lot, but I've been speaking to people about this. My first article was published in January of 2002, and I've been just, explaining this to folks. And I come from a broadcast background, so I'm trying to give people the science in layman's terms. If you go to marshallmasters.com, that'll take you straight to my video, Nemesis 2030 Disaster. And also, it's on my X channel, Your Own World USA. All you got to do is, if you're on X, just go and search on Marshall Masters. I'll have a blue check mark. And you'll actually not only see my video there, and that's a great way to start. It's 2.5 hours, but also I am posting the best of the best observation images that we are processing with our research team on a daily basis. Got wonderful volunteers helping me. So, my X channel is really going to give you a good landing page. You can see the stuff. Also, I have a collection you can purchase for $10 and download and spread the word, send it out there and get people to just start looking at it. It's better instead of trying to explain it to people yourself. It's just a picture's worth 1,000 words. And that's what I did. I made them about 500 pixels wide so you can put them on email attachments, set them up on a phone, whatever it is. They're easy. They're a good size to share with provenance information in the footer. And just to get people curious and thinking. But trust me, next year it will be omnipresent. And so you're going to see it next year.
Okay, for now though, Marshall, thank you so much for coming on Things Visible and Invisible.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us on another episode of Things Visible and Invisible. We're dedicated to uncovering phenomena that challenge our understanding of reality, from ancient enigmas and paranormal encounters to scientific anomalies and forgotten histories. If you enjoyed this journey into the mysterious and unexplained, please consider subscribing to our channel and hitting the notification bell to stay updated on future explorations. Have a personal experience or story that aligns with our investigations? We'd love to hear from you. Visit our website at tvi.show and reach out through our contact form. While we can't feature every submission, we review them all, and your story might be featured in an upcoming episode. To support our continued investigations, please consider becoming a Patreon supporter or channel member. Your contributions make these explorations possible and give you access to exclusive content, early releases, and monthly behind-the-scenes discussions with our team. Don't forget to check out our merch store. We've got everything from TVI-branded t-shirts and hoodies to stickers and coffee mugs, perfect for showing your support while keeping the mysteries close. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time as we continue to explore the things visible and invisible.